Hello there, and welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. So I'm here on El Aluf War with the Hellcat, the Tier 6 American tank destroyer, and I am trying once again to gain the elusive third mark of excellence. I've hit 89% now on the damage standing 3 times on the last couple of weeks. So I've decided to have another go at it, and this is the first time I broke the 90% barrier. However, it's been a case of 1 step forward and 4 steps back, in that the highest I've gotten so far has been about 92.8% or something along those lines. And then I'd fall back. I'm back probably around 91% again because yesterday evening I had several bad games where I need to be doing about 1500 points of damage in order to basically hold my position. 1600 probably, really. I'm not exactly sure of the barrier that between an incremental increase and an incremental decrease. But it's around that number. That is combined damage. That would be the damage I deal directly and damage getting from assistance, either from tracking or spotting. So I've been around that kind of damage. So I've been having several games where I was bottom tier on urban maps and stuff like that, and I'd get maybe 1300 points of damage. Or what was even worse is that I'd have a really good team and I'd be running around chasing damage and literally not being able to catch up to do enough damage because the rest of my team were too efficient at killing things. And then today I had a disaster of a game because the internet was just acting up and I basically did no damage at all. I had 13% packet loss at the time, but I didn't really realise it until I switched on the game, and then I couldn't control my tank. However, this is a pretty decent game. It was a bit interesting in the sense that it's a little bit different from a normal El Aluf game, and we actually succeed. As you can see, we've already lost A1, the north western corner. We only sent 1 tank up there, and however, we have quite a lot of tanks. We have not rushed across the valley. We have tanks in the valley, alright, but we haven't rushed across the valley in a major way. So we haven't lost a lot of tanks trying to drive up the far side while the enemy defences are still strong. So I'm coming up here to try and get sight on the guys coming in from the west. It's a position I discovered not by myself, so to speak, but I was watching a YouTube video on Jingles where Circumflexes was using this position, and he wasn't actually using this particular location, where somebody's being a bit of an a-hole to me. However, he was using the bush further up, but I didn't quite recognise the location with the changes to El Aluf War. I think this is the second time I've played El Aluf War. The enemy have actually made a huge mistake here. They're coming into the base area in dribs and drabs, which is quite heavily defended, and they haven't exploited their complete control over the western side of the map to actually kill those guys in the valley. Quite a few of them would be vulnerable. Like if that medium tank down there in D2 was supported, he could take out the medium, and he had a flanking fire on the other tanks in the middle of the valley instead of that light going chasing after them. That said, they've pulled back their position somewhat right now, although I'm getting some nice flanking shots as they're coming along the edge of our base area, and the Skoda that was trolling me earlier on has actually gone down to spot and put in some useful fire as well. So obviously he's only a part-time troll. He can be a decent player when he wants to be. So I'm getting some nice spots and damage from up here. Just waiting for people to come around. Looks like the tanks that have gone into the valley floor, the enemy forces, a lot of it's been dealt with, but we're still pretty even. This game could go any which way. Now the big thing here is that the guy in the Skoda on our side, as long as he doesn't push and just keeps spotting these guys and make them come to us, the advantage is on our side, because I will be able to then get effective fire into them. Whereas I don't have the armour to be playing peekaboom on the corner. So, but his key thing is not to be pushing around the corner. If he's pushing around the corner, he's pushing in to get 2 tanks. Whereas if they're pushing around the corner, they're the ones pushing into 2 tanks. So I've got to finish him off. So now it's down 2 versus 1, so it's just a KV-85. And we've pulled ahead again on tanks. We've dealt with a lot of the tanks on the valley floor. There's a Fury coming up here, and I knock a nice chunk of health off of him. But he gets into cover before I fully reload and get a second shot. But he walked into 2 enemy tanks, and it's the end of him. So I think the KV-85 is gone. The Skoda has dealt with it, and he's driving off now for the north western corner. And I'm looking at the map, thinking that I better move as well. So I decide I'm going to move and support the guy up who's gone to the northwest. He's out there on his own, and he's pretty isolated. If he gets ambushed by 1 or 2 tanks, that's the end of it, and they could then sneak up on the base. When the base is actually depleted, because people will be now rushing off looking for kills because there's not a lot of enemy tanks left. Now Skoda's spotted here in the valley, so I take the opportunity to shoot him while he's stuck, and I set him on fire, and that's the end of him. So I pulled back because I was spotted, but that 88's not paying any attention to me, so I put it into him as well. So that's been nice, valuable damage there. Very useful for my quest for a mark of excellence. So I come around this corner, and there's another 88 crossing the valley there. Now I've blind fire, and I just put a whisker in front of him. I kind of overestimate his rate of acceleration, but I'm going to go after him. There's only 2 enemy tanks left, and from the way we're deployed, I'm pretty sure none of them are down in this quadrant of the map. So they're both up in the northeastern, or the southeastern section of the map. And there's the KV-2. However, that doesn't go anywhere near him. So we just keep going forward on the reload. I want to get behind the rock anyway in case the 88's facing this way. Don't want to be in front of the gun of an 88. It's pretty effective. We want to get behind him if we can at all. I would have trouble anyway penetrating the frontal armour of an 88, so we have no trouble penetrating the roof. So he is not paying any attention to me, so we'll take advantage of that. However, he's finished up before I get the reload in, and that's the end of the enemy tanks. So 16 damaging ribbons, 4 kills. Now some of them were from fire increments, so they're not kind of full value. Still, we did almost 3k damage. High caliber, first class mastery, Confederate. And that got me up at the time to, what was it exactly? 90.09. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you again soon.